Hello everybody, welcome back to another Transformers video. As you can see, we have a Studio Series Optimus Prime right here with his arms taken off, so let's get right into it. As you can see, I have all the pieces down here for his arms and then also part of his back, which go right here. So I got this. It's a KO knockoff version of the Studio Series Optimus Prime. It's not actually Studio Series. So there were some problems with the plastic and some parts broke or cracked. For example, we have this wrist piece right here. As you can see, if it'll focus here, we have this part of it just snapped. If it'll focus, there we go. So this part snapped, and that was no good because then it couldn't pivot in its socket down here in the arms. And then just the part where the wrist goes, this whole thing just snapped apart, and so yeah, it's useless now. And then this part was part of his back. It cracked, and over time, after a few transformations, it broke off. And if you can see this other piece, that's what it's supposed to look like. And this one, it just snapped clean off right there. The plastic was just too thin, too brittle in that specific area, and so it just broke clean off. And then this one, it's still intact, but it is a bit bent and cracked in that same area. So I'm going to replace that too. So what I did, if you saw the title of the video, I did 3D print some parts for this Optimus, and let me gather them up, and this is what they look like right here. As you can see, they're a bit different. I did have to design them myself. It took me a few tries before I got everything to fit right, but now they're good enough for what they need to do. Here's the other part. So I'll put Optimus back together with the 3D printed parts, and then we'll see how he works. And there we have Optimus all put back together with his new 3D printed parts. There are a few things I want to show you about the 3D printed parts. First of all, I want to go over one negative thing, and it's with the back pieces. So, at this joint right here, it is a little bit loose, so it will kind of fly out of place a little bit easier than the other parts, but it keeps them in place fairly well. Everything else fits perfectly. Right here, I'm especially happy with how that connection turned out. It's really firm, and you can still turn it. It stays in place. So yeah, I'm just really happy with that. And then one thing I want to show you about the wrists, I did modify them so that they are slightly different from the original wrists. So with this, the tab on the hood piece, which goes over the arm, it would go over the piece and it wouldn't really stay in place. It would just kind of rest in there, and sometimes it would just fall off or whatever, and just cause all sort of problems, especially when animating in stop motion. You don't want pieces falling out of place. So what I did is I modified the piece so that it actually clips onto this tab. So you'll just go over and it snaps into place. And so it stays in place a lot better. I don't know if that's how it is on the actual Studio Series Optimus Prime, but that's how it is on my knockoff figure. Yeah, since it is the same mold, it should be the same, but I don't know, because I don't have a Studio Series Optimus Prime, just this knockoff. So what I want to do next is transform him, put him in truck mode, and then we'll see how everything fits together, see if it still looks good, and that'll be it. And there we have Optimus Prime in his Peterbilt semi-truck alt mode, and it looks like the 3D printed parts don't really make a noticeable difference to him. Everything fits together just fine, and yeah, there doesn't seem to be any issues. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm super happy with the results. If you want your own 3D printed parts, and if you have your own 3D printer, then I can put STL files of these parts and the wrist parts in the description below, and you can download them and print them yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.